2 weeks of Lent here before spring break. So again, as I've talked about in previous weeks, use this time. I know you don't get a lot of downtime in your lives. Most of you are very active, both in school and outside of school. So use the 5 minutes at the end for reflection, okay? Thinking about others and what others are going through. I know previously I talked about the crosses that other people bear, not necessarily just in this room, your friends and your classmates, but even outside of Akron. So there's a lot of people who deal with a lot of crosses.
Thank you for being here this afternoon and joining us as we enter more fully into Jesus' suffering tonight. There will be 3 readers for each station today. Reader 1 will introduce each station and continue describing what takes place during each station of the cross. Then a second reader will come forward, representing each one of us, and take us up close to Jesus. We will reflect with a whisper in our hearts. It is during this time that we will ask you to kneel. Finally, our third reader brings us back to our lives today, giving us all something on which to reflect for our own lives. You may then be seated when all the readers return to their seats. At the end of the stations, there will be time for silent prayer. In the penitential spirit of Lent, these living stations also act as an examination of conscience, allowing each of us to look into our own hearts and find the ways we have drifted away from God. The actors, readers, and musicians are here to help you visualize part of Christ's sacrifice for us. Help the Holy Spirit speak to you tonight, helping us all to become closer to Jesus. The 7th station, Jesus falls the 2nd time. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Repeat after me. Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Look out how hard it is for Jesus to walk. He feels weak and shaky. He has had nothing to eat or drink, and he hurts all over. But the soldiers won't let him stop and rest. They keep pushing at him to walk faster. He tries, but again he falls down in the dirty street, and the heavy wooden cross falls on top of him.
Step up close to Jesus. Stoop down to where he has fallen in the street. He is out of breath and very tired. It would help if he could just lie there a minute, but he gets up and tries walking again. You were not there when all this happened, but remember what you do or say to Jesus now counts as if you had been there. Let us kneel. Whisper in our hearts, Jesus, thank you for showing me how always to get up and to keep going.
You can sit back down. Dear Jesus, when I try to do something and mess it up, help me to start over again as you did. If somebody falls down or gets hurt, let me feel for them and help them if I can. The 8th station, Jesus meets the weeping women. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Repeat after me. Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Look at the women of Jerusalem who are standing in the corner of the street where Jesus is passing. When Jesus draws near, they fall to their knees, sobbing and weeping for him. They feel sorry for him and say loving words to him. They are weeping because they have been touched by the immense love and compassion of Jesus. He has never given them worldly goods, but he offered his love, his mercy, his hope, and now his life. He tenderly reaches out to them. Even now in his pain, he doesn't think of himself, but stops to comfort them. He tells them that he will feel better if he knows that they will always be kind and gentle towards everyone for love of him, and if they will teach their children to do the same. They are good women. They will do what Jesus asks.
Step up close to Jesus. Listen when he talks to these women. It is hard to behave well when you are sick or feeling bad. It takes much courage to be unselfish like that. But Jesus does not think of himself. He thinks only of being kind to these ladies. Let us kneel. Whisper in our hearts, Jesus, help me to be thoughtful of others as you are. You may be seated.
Dear Jesus, show me how I can help others and make them happy. Teach me to share what I have with others and to not always try to keep the best of everything, just for myself. Help me to think beyond my possessions and to think about others that bring joy to others. The ninth station, Jesus falls the third time. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Repeat after me. Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Look at Jesus now. He's walking slower and slower. He's been nearly beaten to death and has fallen twice already. The soldiers wish he would hurry. They're afraid that all the excited people watching Jesus and yelling at him may cause a riot. Jesus is packed in so close he can hardly breathe. He takes several more steps and then falls down in the dirty street for the third time.
Step up close to Jesus. He is flat on the ground. It is very hard for Jesus to move, but he gets to his knees and pushes himself up again. He knows he has to go on. Jesus does not like all this pain. He would like to be rid of it, but he can't stop now. If he wants to do what will help us, and he wants to. He started this way of the cross for God and for us, and he wants to finish it. Let us kneel. Whisper to him in our hearts, Jesus, you are a hero. You may be seated.
Dear Jesus, if I am slow and people rush me, help me to not get upset. Help me to be kind to everybody, because every one of us needs help sometimes. When I fail, please give me the strength and courage to keep picking myself up and continuing. Help me to keep going when times are tough, and it would be easier to quit than continue. The 10th station, Jesus' clothes are taken away. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Repeat after me. Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Look at Jesus. He is outside the city of Jerusalem now, and standing on a hill called Calvary. The soldiers are going to crucify him here. One of them is pulling off Jesus' clothes. The clothes are sticking to Jesus' sore back. It hurts when they are pulled off, just as it hurts when somebody pulls a Band-Aid off a sore on your knee. Dismas, a thief, is being crucified alongside of Jesus. He realizes his sins and asks Jesus to forgive him, to remember him when he comes into his kingdom. Jesus promises Dismas that he will join him today in paradise.
Step up close to Jesus. He stands there without his clothes. He is like a wrestler or a boxer who takes off his ordinary clothes so he can fight better. Jesus is getting ready for a fight also. He is fighting against death and sin. He wants to win the fight. He wants to make it possible for all of us to have a life that lasts forever in heaven. We are on Jesus' side and want him to win. Let us kneel. Whisper to him in our hearts, Jesus, I am cheering for you. You may be seated.
Dear Jesus, keep me strong in the battles I will have to fight to be good and true to you. Let me never forget that I can pray for your help when I am at Mass. Help me to share the gifts God has given to me with those who need them.
Now again is a time